welcome to this week's Raw Recap. As always in these recap videos, we go over everything you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I get my thoughts on the show at any point in the video. You guys can leave your thoughts down in the comments below. But as always, before we get anywhere in any video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. And one more thing, man. We are at 296 freaking subs, bro. We are so close to that big 300, man. Man, that'd be awesome if we can hit it on this video. So hey, if you're new here, or you watch the videos, you're not subbed for whatever reason, man, and or if you're just new and you love wrestling content, sub to the freaking channel, man, because we do freaking wrestling content Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, every day out of the weekend. So, man, drop your boy a sub, man. It's completely free, helps me out a ton. But hey, let's get you guys right on into this week's Raw Recap. Alright, man, we would kick off this show with an absolute freaking banger, man. You already know, man. We have John freaking Cena. He comes out, as you can expect. He's kicking off the show. We're in Boston, Massachusetts. The floor is all for John freaking Cena. So, as usual, he says thank you to the fans. He says, the only place that I wanted to be for one last time is Boston, Massachusetts, my hometown. I was in this arena for my first WWE show, and it feels good to be back in the town of Boston, Massachusetts. Then he says, another thing I am happy for is tonight we start the Last Time Is Now tournament to figure out who the greatness will be leading this company into in further years. You know, the path that will be paved. We will understand the relevance that will be created in the WWE from here and throughout pretty much the rest of the WWE career. And then the rumors would come true, man, that people have been predicting, and the rumors would come true, and freaking Dominic Mysterio, he's coming out, and what Dominic Mysterio has to say there is pretty much, keep in mind, Triple H was out here as well, because he kind of inducted John Cena. I did forget to mention that, but Triple H was out here, and pretty much what Dominic does, he comes out, and he just interrupts Cena. I mean, he just goes talking to Triple H, and pretty much kind of just talks about the celebration that happened last week and how it was interrupted by his deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio. That would eventually lead into Dominic saying that I don't get interrupted by old people, I interrupt old people, obviously referencing John Cena. Then that would kind of lead into a back and forth between him and Cena, and then finally Cena would say, champ, I argue that you choose your words very wisely, because tonight I am in the town of Boston, Massachusetts. I am the best that I have ever been tonight, or kind of, you know, pretty much he's the most powerful, you know, that he's ever been recently, and he is invincible with all these people on his back. So I suggest you choose your words wisely. Inevitably, that would lead into Dominic saying that I am better than John Cena ever was, even in his prime. And I'm not even at the peak of my career yet. And then we would get it, man. We would get what everybody has been wanting, except we're getting it tonight. We're getting the match tonight, man. John Cena, Dominic Mysterio, Intercontinental title on the line. In fact, it is next. It is going to be right after we are done discussing this, but that was pretty much the end, man. And now we are getting Cena versus Dominic Mysterio, and like I said, this feud is most likely going to build in to obviously War Games, but man, what a great way to start off the show. We're starting off hot. It was freaking amazing. But hey, let's get right on into that John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio match. Holy hell, man, dude, we jumped into a freaking banger. You could feel the energy throughout this match, man. Like I said, we jumped in to John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for that Intercontinental title. Dominic defending here. Dude, great match. Great freaking match. You could feel the emotion. You could feel the energy. I mean, dude, it was absolutely awesome. I feel like you just had to watch that live to really feel it, man. And if you watched it live, you could really feel everything that was put into that match. Like, just the emotion, the energy from the crowd, just everything, man. The adrenaline, like, it was all packed into that one match. And it was awesome, dude. It was so freaking awesome. We would get to a point, which I think was very funny, where we would see, obviously, kind of, you know, that Dominic Mysterio, and he's kind of like a modern day Eddie Guerrero. He would try to implement that into this match. He would grab a chair, he would throw it or he would smack it on the mat, and then he would pass the chair over to CENA, then fall down to the mat. Obviously, though, before the ref could see that, CENA would drop the chair himself, and then he would fall down to the mat. And then obviously that I think that was funny. And then a little bit after that, we would see John Cena wink at Dominic Mysterio, kind of like, hey, like kind of like outsmarting you kind of thing, which I think was very freaking funny there. I think that was very comedic and very awesome to implement into that match. But man, we would also get to a point where the ref would get knocked out, but then we would see another ref come out, which I thought for a second Dominic was actually going to retain, but no, man, John Cena powers up, hits him, 1, 2, 3, and we got a new Intercontinental Champion, man. He's not going to reign for long. I don't really care, man. He's a champion, and now he's even a Grand Slam champion. He's held at least every title in the WWE at least once, man, which is awesome. Not many people can say that, but hey, man, John Cena, he has 2 major accomplishments this year. One, obviously, 17-time, and then now Grand Slam champion, man. Dude, this dude has had hell of a freaking career, let alone just this year. But man, what a great freaking match. Everything in this match was so freaking awesome, and we got ourselves a new Intercontinental Champion. Alright, now we jumped into the first match of the Last Time Is Now tournament, and this match took place between Rusev versus Damian Priest. Keep in mind, Damian Priest still has that kind of like fireball injury that was thrown at him by Aleister Black, so it's, his eye is still affecting him in the storyline. So, for most of this match, man, that would be a major focus by Rusev, is that eye of Damian Priest, which would inevitably, in the end, would lead into a major Machka kick right to the face of Damian Priest, and Rusev would pick up that win with that 1, 2, 3, and then Rusev does advance, and then he hits the camera with the little bum, 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 for the little, obviously, the you can't see me. But yeah, I think this match was actually pretty solid. I think I would actually like to see these guys go at it again, but maybe with more of a storyline. Obviously, this is just a tournament, so they haven't really crossed paths, but I would like to actually see these two actually, I would like to see this somehow become a storyline at some point later on down the road. I think that would be awesome. But overall, this match, like I said, I think this was solid, and the main thing you got to know here is our first round winner of this match is going to be Rusev, and he will advance in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Alright, man, and now we would jump into CM Punk, and so CM Punk would come out. Obviously, he is pretty much fed up. He would obviously references that he got laid out last week on Raw by those brass knuckles from Logan Paul. He is fed up, man. He just wants Logan Paul to get out there so he can kick his ass. So that's what we see. We see Logan Paul come out, but obviously, Logan Paul being the heel that he is, he just taunts CM Punk. He comes out, has the mic, and he just talks from the entrance, right outside of the curtain, and pretty much what he's really just trolling Punk, man. He's like, pretty much, I won't go down there and fight you, pretty much kind of thing. And obviously he's just trying to build up more anger that CM Punk has towards him, man. He's pretty much just trying to continue to get on that bad side of CM Punk, and CM Punk is kind of just still saying, you better, get your ass down here, because I'm pretty much basically tired of your shit, kind of thing. Then we would see, where things get really interesting is Logan Paul says pretty much like he's found a new vision, and that's when Paul Heyman comes out, and then we do see Braun Breaker come out, and then Bronson Reed come out. So I think it is confirmed that Logan Paul is obviously now with the Vision. Do we really know his role? No, I really don't think he's going to be a leader, at least by the looks of it. That's not what it's looking like now, but things could change. But I don't really know what his role is. It's just he's definitely got some affiliation with the Vision 100% now. And then we would see Paul Heyman, and pretty much what Paul Heyman has to say is pretty much just telling CM Punk that he is pretty much one of the worst people on the planet. And then he also mentions Punk's wife, and saying how obviously that she's just much nicer and pretty much just much of a better overall person, and it's just better humanity than a CM Punk, man. And then is when we would see the Vision. They would come down. They would obviously circle the ring. Then we would see Jey Uso come out to obviously come in for backup. Then we would see Cody Rhodes come out in for backup. Then we would start the brawl. All 3 men brawling: Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, as well as Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. Inevitably here, we did see CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes stand tall, and I'm assuming
from here, we're going to get a triple threat tag or 6-man tag match between Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul. Obviously, I'm assuming that's probably going to be the main event of tonight. That has not currently been announced at the time that I'm recording this, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's definitely going to happen, though. If it's not this week, it's definitely next week. But yeah, I think this was pretty cool. I think this 6-man tag match that it's most likely going to lead into will be pretty cool to see, pretty interesting to watch as well. So I can't wait for that. I think that'll be really cool. And overall, I think this segment was very freaking good. And yeah, I overall like the aggression that we saw from CM Punk and just the overall chaos at the end here. Alright, man, and next up we would jump into Stephanie Vaquer defending her Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez, and I gotta say, I would have much rather her defend against Roxanne Perez, but they're definitely saving that for later on. But in this match, man, it really wasn't anything special, and it was honestly, in my opinion, an easy win for Stephanie. There was no doubt in my mind that obviously she was losing this, and just overall, I just don't think it was a great match, slightly because, I mean, I just don't think Raquel really needed this match, and I really, like I said, I really would have rather Roxanne, but like I said, they're probably saving that. But where things got good was in the post-match, which we'll talk about in a few seconds here. But yeah, we had this match, and like I said, really wasn't anything crazy. We got to the end. Inevitably, Stephanie Vaquer would win. The ending, though, the post-match, we would see Roxanne Perez come in and attack Stephanie. Then we would see Nikki Bella come out and attack Raquel and Roxanne. When then inevitably that would make the Judgment Day flee, and then Stephanie would kind of hold up her title, but then she would turn around, and this is where it got good, man. Nikki Bella would clock her. Nikki Bella would freaking clock Stephanie, man, and Nikki Bella has officially turned freaking heel, man. So hey, we all saw that coming. I really would have wished that we would have seen maybe just a little bit more build and a little bit more interesting build. We didn't really get that, but hey, at least we got a major something major going on for Nikki Bella. I think that's good. I think this will turn into something good. And overall, I think this is a very good. I think we should. I think, like I said, I think this should develop into something amazing, and hopefully, and I can't wait to see more and more of it throughout the next few weeks and months. But yeah, I think this is awesome. And I'm kind of debating. Are we getting Nikki versus Stephanie at War Games, or are we? I mean, yeah, at War Games, or are we getting Roxanne versus Stephanie at War Games? I really don't know. I'm still kind of in between, but I'm assuming now we're probably getting Nikki. It really doesn't. It really depends. We'll have to wait and see. But hey, I hope this heel turn definitely turns out well for Nikki. And overall, what you got to know, Stephanie retains, and we have a heel turn from Nikki Bella. All right, man, and now we moved on to our second match of the first round of the Last Time Is Now tournament, and it took place between Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And I actually think this match was a little bit better than Rusev versus Damian Priest. Now, that's not saying I still don't want to see Rusev and Damian Priest have a separate feud, because I still do. I'm just saying I think this match was just a bit better, in my opinion. I think I really just think it was just overall better, just from an in-ring perspective, potentially, and also just like the way that this match made me felt a little bit from time to time. The point is, though, Sheamus would inevitably win this match just like he should. I don't think Shinsuke should have won this at all, and good thing he didn't. Sheamus absolutely deserved this, and thankfully Sheamus did obviously advance. And like I said, I think this match was pretty freaking solid. I think it was one of the better one of tonight for the Last Time Is Now tournament for sure. And I'm, like I said, super glad Sheamus advanced. There was no reason for Shinsuke to advance here, I don't think. It's just cool to see Sheamus advance, man. I do like Sheamus, and I kind of do wish more opportunities are given to him. This is obviously a step in the right direction. But yeah, thankfully Sheamus does move on here, and that's really all you got to know. All right, man, and for our main event of the night, we did have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defending their women's tag titles against the Kabuki Warriors in a very action-packed match, but things got really interesting in the post-match, and even towards the end of the match as well. So we're just going to jump right there, man. So we get to the end of the match, and we do see Nia Jax and Lash Legend. They come out and they attack, or they kind of distract, obviously, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, which inevitably leads to new champs. So we have the Kabuki Warriors as the new women's tag team champions. This would inevitably then lead into a beatdown from the Kabuki Warriors and Nia Jax and Lash Legend on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. That would then lead into the return of Io Sky. Then we would see even Rhea Ripley come out, and then Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, they all stand tall, and then Rhea Ripley says War Games. So that's our War Games, man. It's going to be Rhea, Charlotte, Io and Alexa versus Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and the Kabuki Warriors. I think that could be really that's really freaking stacked, man. That will be a great War Games in my opinion. I can't wait to see it. But yeah, this was a very very chaotic main event, which I actually enjoyed, and like I said, I think that War Games will be very very freaking good in my opinion. And overall, as far as new champs here, would I have preferred to just have the current champs retain? You know, honestly, I really don't care which way these went. In my opinion, I really could care less. I really just don't think these tag titles are really like super relevant. I mean, they are relevant, but they're just not as relevant as they could be. So they're like, I just kind of just really don't care right now. But the point is, man, I really just don't care like really how the tag titles where it really went here. The point is, I'm hyped for this War Games. I like the chaos here at the end, and overall, I think this was a very solid main event as well. Alright everybody, well that is going to wrap up this week's Raw recap, and just rating this episode of Raw, dude, we had John Cena, he became a Grand Slam champion. That instantly, in my opinion, makes this just a freaking overall great Raw. So, this was a freaking awesome Raw. I freaking loved it. There was some great action that took place in this episode of Raw. But as always, be sure to leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, before we get out of here, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me a ton, and I will catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace. Dream.